is finally over. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis here on the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
What's interesting about these Thursday night games is oftentimes we hear people say, is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these teams going into this one? How excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. Here we go with the Packer offense, guided by their decorated QB with a long list of Pro Bowls and other accolades next to his name, of course. Aaron Rodgers leading the way.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
Rodgers going to the air to start things out. Flushed out right, and his first look is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Rodgers now to throw. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing. But to give him this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away on the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the second half. They line them up in field goal position. And to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 1st and goal. A chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. It's their quarterback. A 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Monarchs are on the board here first in the season opener. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week. But here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Throw again on second down. Rodgers. Complete to Jones. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he wisely will throw that one away. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Got a man open, that's Devontae Parker, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike, and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Rodgers again now. He sets up the screen to Jones. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Now Rodgers. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Down to the 25. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Jones. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Walked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
They'll go with Jones. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. He needed 2. He only got 1. And as a result, possession switches hands. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. Room here to run. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have. Ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's got it to about the 40. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll drop to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now, and it's London with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the dart ball, pick up the 1st down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. He'll drop to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. Touchdown. A.J. Brown, 30 yards. And the Monarchs have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Good throw there. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook, not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have that bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Rodgers now on first down. And he finds Parker here, complete. From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6. Rodgers going to throw. And Watson has it, right side. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Their quarterback leading this offense back out. He had the touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll search for another score as they begin here with a 1st and 10. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now this offense in mid-season form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Back to throw again. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. With Sean Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On 1st down, Rodgers. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of momentum from the offense coming off that big completion to prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
How about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. Unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This to C.J. Ham, the fullback. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Good sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Buying time to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And they'll send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Rolling to his right. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
On third down, here's Jones. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And they will take over first and 10.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. On to punt, Jamie Gillen. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. We'll start in the early window and begin up in Minneapolis. A tough one for the homestanding Vikings as they get set to do battle with the Detroit Lions. Then later, they'll let the sun die down a bit in Tampa. A late start here in Florida, where it'll be the Buccaneers out on the West Coast. More good stuff in the late afternoon as we'll be watching the game at SoFi Stadium. Well, it will be the Chargers. And lastly, on Monday Night Football, this will be one to tune in for, as they've got a good one lined up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and what equates to be a very tough opponent. And on now to a check on the next-gen stats in that first half for the Packers. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for our home team, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
Out of the gun now on third down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And touchdown! A great play there. 71 yards. And the Monarchs are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Rodgers now on first down. And this is caught. It's Parker. On second down, it's Jones. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. He finds Watson complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They go back to the ground with Jones. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. To throw, it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Open receiver here, complete, it's Parker. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
It's your first drive of the second half. You're down on the scoreboard. Maybe you just say to yourself, let's take a shot, see if we can shake them up. And boy, they hit that one.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. The ball on the 8. Still could get a first down technically. 2nd and 7. Here's Rodgers. Being chased out left. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Devontae Parker from 8 yards out. And the Packers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So that, Charles, their first score of the ballgame, obviously, coming here in the third quarter. Is that going to be enough to energize the troops?
It's a great question, and we'll wait to see the answer, but it's finally something for them to build on. Now they know that they can actually score against that defense.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. A 10-play drive that time. And Devontae Parker able to finish it off with a touchdown reception. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. London about set to take over on offense. Their lead down from 21-14, but still sitting at a great spot, up 2 scores here in the third quarter. And they'll begin by running the option. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it. Most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 18 more yards there and another first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Back to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. McPherson's kick is good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
An 8-yard pickup. First down, Green Bay.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's second down. And again, it's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Here's Jamie Gillen now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. London about set to take over on offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. McPherson's kick is good. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg, and boom, over the crossbar.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this one too low. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. Well, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. The offense on third down tonight, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Rodgers. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Rodgers. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 91 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sideline.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Dawson Knox. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Monarchs are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Well, Charles, no matter what the prognosticators say before the season, whether they think you're going to be good, bad, or somewhere in the middle, you never quite know how week 1 is going to play out. But for them, it has been an impressive performance, and they are well on their way to a 1-0 start.
Yeah, it's a lot like opening up presents, isn't it, partner? You're not quite sure what's inside, but you're hopeful, right? In this case, exactly what they were looking for, exactly what they need.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Catch made by Watson on the out route. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Parker. And they work this well upfield across the 45. On first down, Rodgers. Tunyon's got it on the out route. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to find the line. defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now Rodgers got to have this one.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Up the middle, Jones. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. The last run got 3, now here's 2nd and 7. And right side, they're going to go option here. He will push his way down to about the 14. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Rodgers going to throw. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by L'Jarius Sneed. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. And I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Here's the option going right. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken at around the 40. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Ball start, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Rodgers now to throw. Steps away to his left. And he'll just get rid of it. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Throwing is Rodgers. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand-new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the home team here, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.